Hello, fellow mood readers. Today I wanted to talk about a little bit of everything, but since fall is coming, it's a little bit after September 1st by the time this goes up, so everybody's gonna be feeling all those fall reads, all those spooky books, all the thrillers and slashers and all that. I wanted to talk about some of those. Kind of generally give you a little bit of everything from cozy, good fantasy that kind of feels very fall, all the way up to horror and slasher, just a little bit of everything. That way you could take that and run with it. So I got like a little stack of witchy books, books that aren't quite horror but have that little bit of taste of horror in there. It's like creepy, kind of a gothic feel, some of them. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to start with the super cozy book that I don't actually have physically. I do plan to grab that though. I did listen to this one on Libby. It's just very cute if you like found family, witches. I can't wait to actually read the new one. It's not, I don't believe that it's tied to this one. But it also sounds very cozy, very kind of right up that same alley, and very magical. So this one is going to be The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. You follow Mika as she's kind of hiding her witchcraft in plain sight by doing YouTube videos and faking magic, but someone finds her through these videos and wants her to tutor some children who also have magic. So it's got like that found family themes. It's got magic, witches, and it's very cozy. So, and then there is some romance in there. So it's an all-around great book. I think I gave it a 4.5, if I'm not mistaken. I think I gave it 4.5. So I definitely recommend it. I did enjoy the audiobook, so if that's the way you want to do it, I found it on Libby, so perhaps your library has it as well. But I do actually kind of want to read it, so maybe I'll grab it for the Kobo or a physical copy, because Sangu Mandana's other book just recently came out. Magical, it's something with magical innkeeping. I'll pop the cover up here, but it looks very cozy, very fall. So I'm there for it. I'm probably going to be reading that one too. Book number 1. So next up, I'm going to give you a book that you already know that I read if you've followed the channel at all. It was my fall reading vlog. Last time I kind of centered a whole reading vlog around reading this and watching the movie, but that's going to be Practical Magic. I enjoyed both the book and the movie. It wasn't quite what I thought it would be, but I enjoyed them both for what they were, and I think it was really a great time to read this. So if you've been on the fence, I would say fall is a good time to pick this up and read it. It was different to what I thought it was, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad thing. And I think overall I gave it a 3.5. So I did enjoy it. I liked aspects of the movie more, but then I also liked aspects of the book more. So I don't remember if there was a clear winner if I did pick one, whether the movie was better or the book was better. I think I did enjoy both. I did really enjoy the way that the movie did it. I definitely think if you're on the fence, definitely give this a read. It's definitely a book that you'd probably want to read if you enjoy reading witch books, or you probably already have read it and I'm like the last person to get to it. It felt like it, but this is a very pretty edition. I'm really glad that I did get to this. Still haven't decided if I'm going to read some of the other ones that are in this line. So my next pick is, it's not just to put it on there. I think it actually is a really good time to read it if you want that kind of adventure story, and if you like reading books where they start at the same time as they start, because I don't actually remember when the very, very first one started. I don't remember the date for that, but the trilogy actually started on my birthday, because it's Hobbit Day. So I would say if you haven't read these and you've been wanting to give them a shot, I think that it's a good time to pick them up, because adventure stories are also great in fall. No matter what time of the year it is, they're always great to pick up. But I think that starting The Lord of the Rings, I got this big, massive copy here. Starting this, it just feels very fall to me, because you actually start on Hobbit Day. So it's Bilbo and Frodo's birthday on September 22nd, and they're at the birthday party. And so that's when this book begins. And I know that it's not when the adventure actually starts, and it doesn't take place over only fall, but it kind of has that feeling, you know, and adventures happen no matter what time of year it is. So I'm just putting it on there. It's especially if you want to start reading when a book begins or when the adventure begins. It's a perfect time to do it. I was actually super tempted at one point to do my annotations in the fall and start it on my birthday right in September because it's when it starts. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not this year. We'll just see how I feel. I might just make this a background read since I already read it and listened to it like 8 million times, but I do want to annotate. I have special paperbacks to annotate that if you wanted to give it a go or even give it a reread, why not now? So we're going to keep rolling with things that are not quite horror, and I'm going to end probably with horror, all of those. We'll build up to that. So my next picks they feel very fall. They're very dark, there's magic, there's all kinds of things going on. You have fog and mist and trees, and just it's perfect for this time of year, I think. And that's going to be the Shepherd King duology. I'm going to count these as one just because they are the duology. I absolutely love this duology. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, I believe I talked about these to death, so I'm not really going to do synopsis. It's just because like some of these books are huge, and I think that you probably have heard so much talk about them. But these are like, this is card magic with cards that are very similar to tarot cards. I adore all of these characters, and I think Two Twisted Crowns was just the absolute perfect ending to the duology. It was even better than the first one, in my opinion. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried when I read the end, but I think that it's just perfect for this time of year. So if you haven't given these a shot yet, I would say definitely do, because One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns are just absolutely incredible. Okay, I'll admit it, I just want everybody to read them because I love them. So please read them. This next one also kind of isn't horror. It's got horror elements because this author always throws horror elements in, even though the entire book itself really doesn't feel horror. But this is another author that I will never stop recommending. It's because I absolutely love all of her books, and I'm super excited for the one that just shipped out. When I get it in, I don't care if I'm reading 6 books at the same time, I'm reading that one too. That's how this is gonna go. So I did read this, and I did talk about it in a video last year, but I think that this one is perfect for this time of year. Any of them are, actually. So if you're curious about any of Erin A. Craig's work, I would say pick it up in the fall. Pick it up whenever, but fall is great because Erin Craig always throws in these horror elements, and there's been some very dark imagery in some of these. This one especially surprised me. I don't think I was expecting this to have that kind of imagery in it, but it did. And I absolutely love this cover. But this is The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig, and this one is dark. I would argue that all of Erin A. Craig's books are dark, so they all have that kind of darkness. My favorite is still Small Favors, but this one still got 5 stars from me. If you didn't watch my other video, I will give you a brief synopsis just so that you know, because I don't think this one is as well known as some of the other ones. Although I think my short for unboxing this got quite a bit of views, but it is absolutely beautiful, so I can't really say I'm surprised. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. I did take the sticker off. It was covering one of the skulls, and I'm like, it can't happen. So this is absolutely glorious and beautiful, and this is the undercover. I will give you a brief synopsis for this, and then we'll move on to the next one. So in this one, you follow Hazel, and she is a 13th child promised to the gods, and one specific god in particular, Merrick, the god of death. So she waits for him to come and take her away, and for her to start figuring out what he wants. So when he does, he lays out his plan for her. She is to become a healer, and she can deduce any cure almost instantly for whatever ails her patients, but that all does come with a price, and she is haunted by these ghosts of the people that she did not save, and she can also see when someone is marked for death. The whole story builds up, and she's not sure if she should save somebody who is marked by death already, but it's dark, it's beautiful, and I love Erin A. Craig's writing. It feels cozy even while it's horrific. I definitely say give any of Erin A. Craig's works a shot. This one is the last one that came out, but currently, like I said, one of mine just shipped. The new one just shipped. It's called It Lands So Wide, and I'm very excited for it. I do have one for you that's it's very creepy, it's very atmospheric. I can't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it a 4 stars. It made me want to read more of this author's writing because it was just perfectly gothic, very startling, creeping kind of horror. It wasn't quite scary, but it was it had that dreadful kind of feeling to it, and I think I might reread this one and then read some of the others, because I did buy more of this author's work and I will be reading it as well. But that's Laura Purcell's The Silent Companions. So this one is very gothic, very just creepy. So I mean, as the name implies, you got Silent Companions. These are like painted wooden figures that are found in this house, and I don't know, it's unsettling. It's very unsettling. So I think that this is perfect for this time of year. Perfectly gothic, kind of that creeping horror. So here, I'll read you the brief synopsis on the back here, and you could tell me whether or not you've read this or if you want to. So it says, when newly widowed Elsie is sent to see out her pregnancy at her late husband's crumbling country estate, what greets her is far from the life of luxury she expected when she married the young heir just weeks before. With her new servants resentful and the local villagers actively hostile, Elsie has only her husband's awkward cousin for company, or so she thinks. Inside her new home lies a locked door beyond which is a painted wooden figure, a silent companion, that bears a striking resemblance to Elsie herself. The residents of the bridge are terrified of the figure, but Elsie tries to shrug this off as simple superstition. That is, until she notices the figure's eyes following her. So I definitely say give this a try. I think it's perfect. I can't remember if I did put this on one of my lists as far as like shorter books, underrated short books, because this is not very long. But either way, I highly recommend this, and I will be reading more of Laura Purcell's books. I do have a couple more. I think I have The Poison Thread by this author. So next is actually probably the only slasher on this list. You could read this book and then watch the movie because the movie is now out, but that is Adam Caesar's Found in a Cornfield. I still have to read books 2 and 3, but this was a lot of fun. This is a YA slasher. There's definitely themes going on to this, and I'm very intrigued to read the other 2 books. But this, along with the movie, go perfectly hand in hand. They did a very good job with it. And I just wanted to talk about this again to let you know, if you haven't read it, go read it. It's fun. It's a good slasher. Adam Caesar's great. Go follow him on social media too. And I do have this signed by, right here, Matt Ryan Tobin. And then I have this signed by Adam. So this is my double signed copy. I do have the hardcovers for all of the other books, but Matt Ryan Tobin did this artwork. He did the artwork for all 3 of the books. I will show you the second book. Actually is creepy. It's very creepy. But look at that cover. Yeah, so I think that it's a great book to read now, like even now, especially now. It's the perfect time to read it, but even if you didn't read it for fall, I would say just pick it up whenever, because it was good. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars, and I am definitely continuing on with books 2 and 3. So let me know if you've read it or if you've seen the movie. I had a lot of fun with the movie. I thought it was great. So I'll give you like a brief synopsis for this one too, because I'm not sure if you haven't seen it, you haven't watched it, don't know what it's about. It's about Quinn Maybrook. She and her father moved to Kettle Springs, who has a very creepy clown mascot for their town. Ever since the town's only factory shut down, Kettle Springs has been cracked in half. Most of the town believes that the kids are to blame. After all, the juniors and seniors at Kettle Springs High are the ones who threw the party where Arthur Hill's daughter died. They're the ones who set the abandoned factory on fire and who spend all their time posting pranks on YouTube. For the kids, it's the other way around, and now Kettle Springs is caught in a constant battle between old and new, tradition and progress. It's a fight that looks like it will destroy the town, until one homicidal clown with a pork pie hat and a red nose decides to end it for good. Because if your opponents all die, you win by default. Go have fun. Read a fun slasher. So my next one, I wasn't sure actually what to expect going into this, but I thought it was a lot of fun, and I gave this one 4 stars. But this was a debut, and I think, when did I read it? I don't remember if I did talk about this one. I might have in one of my wrap-ups or something, but The September House by Carissa Orlando. I will give you the synopsis for this, but there are some really dark themes in here, so be aware, maybe look up triggers, but there is also an underlying tone of humor here too. There's some pretty good humor as far as certain aspects go. Like, what do you do when your dream home is haunted? You want to live in your dream home, so you're gonna ignore how haunted it is and just make it normal. So I think that part of it was very intriguing for me. So I'm gonna give you the brief synopsis for this. Let me know if you've read it or not, but I do remember that there were some pretty dark themes here, so be aware. And if you look up some trigger warnings before you start. When Margaret and her husband Hal bought the large Victorian house on Hawthorne Street for sale at a surprisingly reasonable price, they couldn't believe they finally had a home of their own. Then they discovered the hauntings. Every September, the walls drip blood. The ghosts of former inhabitants appear, and all of them are terrified of something that lurks in the basement. Most people would flee. Yes. Margaret is not most people. After 4 years, Margaret has learned how to live with the house. It's her house, after all. But Hal can't take it anymore, and he leaves abruptly. Now he's not returning calls, and their daughter Catherine, who knows nothing about the hauntings, arrives, intent on looking for her missing father. To make things worse, September has just begun. And with every attempt Margaret and Catherine make to find Hal, the hauntings grow more harrowing because there are some secrets the house needs to keep. So Catherine I didn't really like Catherine all that much. That aside, you're gonna have characters that you like or don't like, but I definitely enjoyed this, and the house felt like a character, trust me. So I would say definitely give this a shot if it sounds good and you look up trigger warnings and they're nothing that you are concerned with. That would be The September House. Actually perfect to read it this month because it's September. So another author I wanted to highlight in this video, I might have mentioned these in one of my wrap-up videos, but that's Isabel Cañas, and she wrote The Hacienda and The Vampires of El Norte. These books were great. They were both different. The vampires aren't what you'd expect in Vampires of El Norte, and this haunted house book didn't feel like any of the other ones, so I couldn't even say which one I liked more. I liked both quite a bit, and I think if you haven't read these, then you should definitely go check them out. I loved how different they were. I might actually listen to these ones again. They were really good, and I also would like to probably get a copy of them. I will definitely read any other ones that I find by Isabel Cañas, and I definitely want to highlight those because I don't see them talked about as much as they should be. They were great horror, so if you're looking for those types of books, definitely pick those up and give them a shot. I couldn't recommend them more. I'm not really going to talk too long about these authors because I've probably, like I said, I have done that before. Silver Nitrate, Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And you know that I love this author's work because I've talked about it so much. And mostly I recommend Mexican Gothic, and I still do. So if you haven't read Mexican Gothic, perfect time for it. You love fungus, you love horror. This one is about a kind of cursed film, so it's got ghosts, it's got like a little bit of everything in this, and I think it's pretty underrated. I don't really hear anybody talking about this book, but I really enjoyed it. Just like I really enjoy a lot of Sylvia Moreno Garcia's work. I love the writing. The characters are always fantastic. Just very atmospheric. Just perfect. Like the imagery in this is incredible. So your main character, Montserrat, is a sound editor, and this book talks about a lot of films and sounds and editing and all of that stuff. And it talks about like the old equipment and some of the things. It's just really cool. So I would say definitely pick this up if that sounds right up your alley. I think it was a great read. But also I haven't read it, so I can't recommend it officially. Sylvia Moreno Garcia did just re-release The Bewitching, and this is on my TBR. Very, very soon I will be reading this one. I cannot wait for it, so I would say check out any of this author's work, to be honest. I do have some backlog to get to as far as some of her past work. I still have to read Velvet Was the Night. I still have to read a few of the others. Certain Dark Things, I believe, was a vampire novel, but we'll get there. We're getting there. But I do highly recommend Silver Nitrate, and I think that it's not really talked about a whole lot, so go give it a shot if you like movies and sound editing. I think it was actually very cool. So our last one is another auto-buy author. I read his books every year. I put one on, like, in every video, I think, for horror. I did talk about his last one a lot. So this one I gave 4.25 stars. I did really enjoy it. I liked the imagery. I liked how things were done. I think it felt like really neat. I may go back to this one and read it physically as well, but there were things in here that did kind of strike home, and I liked how connected you can feel with some characters. But I'm going to go with The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. I recently listened to this one. It wasn't even all that long ago. I will always recommend a Chuck Wendig. Black River Orchard is perfect for this time of year. I know I put that on another list. This one is really cool structurally. I like how this was done and plotted out. it's different, and I really love that about it. I could talk about Chuck Wendig until the cows come home. So between Wanderers, Wayward, Book of Accidents was great. Although I know that one, I think, was hit or miss for people. I really enjoyed Book of Accidents, and I really enjoyed Black River Orchard. So I also really enjoyed this. So this one was 4.25 stars for me. I waffled back and forth, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know how I was feeling when I listened to this. The audiobook is great. There were a couple narrators. And as always, they did a great job. This one, I will give you a brief synopsis. I don't want to give away any spoilers or say anything that might ruin the story for you. So I'm just going to go with what is on the flap here and let you determine if you want to read this. A group of friends investigates the mystery of a strange staircase in the woods. So you have 5 high school students are bonded by an oath to protect one another no matter what. Then on a camping trip in the middle of the forest, they find something extraordinary. A mysterious staircase to nowhere. One friend walks up and never comes back down. Then the staircase disappears. 20 years later, the staircase has reappeared. Now the group returns to find the lost boy and what lies beyond the staircase in the woods. And it's always very intriguing when you think about things like this, because there are just staircases that are left over after foundations fall sometimes. And it's really cool. And there was an author's note. There is an author's note in the back, and I would say read it. It talks kind of about this inspiration for this, but I think that it's really interesting. The concept of this is really kind of cool, and I liked it. So I definitely recommend it, and I recommend any Chuck Wendig if you happen to pick one up. Now's the perfect time for Black River Orchard, or even this one. Just go pick up a Chuck Wendig. Also a great person. I met him a few times, and always great. So now I'm finished. That was my last book. I do have plenty of others that I would like to talk about as well. I do have that gigantic TBR for myself for this year, because there's a ton of books I want to read, a ton of spooky books, also fantasy books. And right now I'm doing a reading vlog for this beast right here. I'm not quite halfway yet, but I'm in the 400s. I was so tempted to do Tandem, but Libro FM only had like a French version on there, and it made me sad because I feel like I'm going so slow. So look out for that as a reading vlog. And I'm currently also reading Sorcery and Small Magics, which is cozy and magic and academic, and I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I feel like I'm flying through that one, but not the other one. Keep an eye out for some more horror themed things. So the plan is that I do want to reorganize the library, so that will be coming. The only thing I did do before was the spinner for the mass markets, as well as it's got like a stack of new books on it. But I do plan to reorganize some books, so you will have one of those vlogs, the library reorganization vlog, as well as at the same time I'm going to be decorating it for Halloween. So for fall, we're just getting ready for fall. I'm going to put all the leaves out, we're going to put the lights up. I have to figure out a good way to do that, because last year it was very different in here. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be fun to put up. I don't know if I'm going to keep that one for October or not, but I will put that one out very soon. It will be very soon, because we're planning to do it very soon. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I have so many audiobooks stacked up for some of the reads that I want to get to. And right now I felt a tiny bit slumpy, which was what I was terrified of when I picked that one up, that it would feel like a slump. And it kind of feels like a slump, because I feel like I'm taking forever for that. And it's not that it's a bad book. It's just that I feel like I'm reading it at half speed almost. I don't know what's going on. Perhaps I'll do another Hopefuls video. A lot of those books that I did not read last year are going to be on it this year, because I still want to read them. But there are some that I definitely want to get to, and perhaps let me know if you'd like one of those hopeful videos, as I did accumulate some more kind of witchy fall book. I did get different horror books as well, so there's that. My mood is always different, so that's why I have to have a span of everything. So let me know if you'd like a video like that. But for now, pick up some of these books, read them, give them a shot, see if your library has them on audio. Happy September! I'm so excited. I love this time of year so much, fall, and we've been getting some cool mornings. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.